All right, so let's run through these box scores quickly. Our freshman team, they played Shock, which was a really good team. They played up, but there's a lot to learn from this film, good and bad. So let's make sure we learn from both. Remember, you can win and lose, right? You can win and not get better, not grow, or not get anything out of it. And you can lose and win, all right? I thought the freshman team won and won, right? I thought they did a lot of good things to make sure they won and beat a good team. I felt like this was the best team in the tournament, even though 1350 causes us problems because of their ball pressure. I thought this was the better team. Anyway, let's get into the film. The scores eight. Box scores 18-20. We got out rebounded by 5 and offensive rebounds by 4. All right, that's a big stat. These offensive rebounds, 8 in the first half. Our turnovers are much better. The problem is two of these three happened in the last minute of the first half. We were up 18-15, and we had a turnover, a bad turnover by Isaac. They come down, they get a shot up, we come down, and we get another back turnover trying to get a back door we didn't execute on. So the score ended up, instead of being 18-15 and us managing the clock, 20-18. All right. So it's not that these are just three. They happen at the worst time. All right. Block shot, and look, 18-20. If we're just playing half, that block shot matters, right? Because it means that they shot the ball closer than probably 5 feet, because you don't block many shots on the perimeter on jump shots. All right. So we shot about even in terms of attempts on from the field. From three, I mean, we didn't know how to knife their zone. We hadn't adapted yet, which tells us a lot about our second half. Look at our threes in this half, 3 of 16, versus in the second half, if we hit total of 6, we went 3 for 6. All right, that's 50%. And we kind of learned to pivot and keep it moving. All right, so then we got the free throws. We only shot one free throw. That shows you how unaggressive we were. If you're shooting threes, you're not at the line. All right, that's just how simple it is. They didn't shoot a ton. Y'all play good defense without fouling. 3 of 10. That's it's not great, but it's not terrible either. And a lot of those we'll see. A lot of their threes, they hit 6 threes total. Um, we did a really good job on that. And I thought like 4 of those 6 were user error. We could have did better ourselves at defending them. But anyways, to the second half, we out rebounded them 29-25. Well, if you're jacking up 29 threes, there's going to be a lot of rebounds to be had. And although we only took 39 of their 48 shots, keep in mind we went to the line 15 times. So our goal, and we could have did this, but it would take good shooting on our part. Our goal is to make more free throws than they attempt. So if we shoot 12 or 15, that's a high percentage. We accomplished that goal. All right, so we gotta do better at the line. But that's part of the reason we only took 39 attempts, because when you get fouled, it doesn't count as a field goal attempt. All right, and then of course we adapted with the 3-point percentages. Um, so we had 2 blocks, and again, when it's 42-35, those 2 blocks matter. So again, let's control. We can control. I think we can control free throws. All right, let's work on our. Everybody got IPP plans on shooting. Let's focus and hone in on those, because again, 15 free throws is good, especially 14 in the second half, but that percentage isn't. All right. And we got to do better at blocking out. I know they were a bigger team. All of them were probably 6'2", 6'3", and they had a little size to them. But if we touch people, and we'll see on the film, we didn't do our job. We can't be worried about how big and tall and athletic people are if we're not doing our job. All right, so let's control we control. And if we do that, I mean, the score could be 49-35 if we shoot 50% from the line. All right, so let's see what the film says about it. Here we go. We're going to break it down by areas first. The first thing we're going to look at is stunts. All right, so let's watch some of these stunts. We've been working on them for the past 2 weeks. And if we get better at that, that's one of the gaps that I think is in our defense. And this is good and bad to watch from it. Everybody needs to grow. Here we go. All right, so as this ball goes from here to here, it's a 2-1 split. And that's how every defense is. Whether you're in a zone, a 2-3, a man-to-man, you're going to have situations where that guy drives, he helps, and this guy got a 2-1 split, and he got to occupy both. So this is good practice right here. May does a good job. Stunt with his closest hand to him so his hips don't have to turn right back, so they can't throw it corner. Now, Grant, you went with your right hand, so now your hips got to turn, and now they're going to get an open shot in the corner. And better yet, you and Ty have got to touch this guy. This happened twice. So they get their first made field goal and offensive rebound because we didn't block out. All right, so look at how your hips turn right here. All right, so as soon as your hips got to turn, you're going to be late. All right, so remember, Grant, when you're in 22 at the top, your goal is to push him up the sideline and not guard him straight up. All right, so you're guarding him more straight up. Send him to a side because now your hips are already turned. So we want to send him to the sideline so the sideline is the extra defender. And he gets by you so quick he's in the more of the middle of the floor. And here's the tap behind. If a guy falls asleep, be ready for that tap behind. All right, got to come up with that. Good stunt by May here. Let's back it up real quick. All right, boom, stunt back. Nothing for him. All right. Here's another stunt by May. Stunt, get back, and he travels. All right, so he thought he was going to throw a corner. May stunts. All right, another thing to recognize is when guys are in shooting position, you don't nearly have to stunt nearly as hard. So here it comes, the ball skip. He actually is in shooting position. So there's the stunt by May. Brooklyn's there. Now we run to the corner, and we're already there. So now he doesn't get that wide open corner three. All right, most zones give that up. Ours doesn't. Now Ty just has to wall up. All right, Brooklyn, you might be able to help a little more because this coverage right here up top is Isaac's, and if they throw it there, Grant's going to have to stun at him. So your job, you're kind of in no man's land. So now he gets gapped and you're reaching, and there's a foul. But like I said, we're doing our job at taking away those corner threes. All right, so if a guy's not in shooting range, we don't stunt. We just get in line with the ball like Cade's doing. All right, now here's Grant. That's a much better stunt, Grant. Your body's turned the right way. Now you just got to push off that left foot and get back really quick. Kavion's showing up. Don't hang out there too long. All right. All right, so here we go. This is a pretty good stunt by Cade. He's running at him, and he's on his way back. So basically on the flight of the ball. Now, Cade, you do want to try to close out a little bit higher so he doesn't come out. He only can go towards Ty on that baseline. All right, we don't want to keep letting him out. All right. And here's Grant's stunt. Okay, so Grant, your body's kind of turning. You completely commit to him. So now you're still running out and the ball is leaving. So now he's wide open. So it's a stunt. You got to get here and get back, not sideways. All right. Grant, this is a good one. You stun at him, right? And you're getting back and he has to ball fake, right? A ball fake lowers people's percentages. Okay. So they missed that one. Now this is the one you got to do better at. You got to know his shooting range, and he's not going to take a second shot that's harder than the first. So you kind of commit too much instead of like tagging back. Just stun at him from down here and let him have to dribble into it, and Kavion or Isaac should be back. So now they're going to get a wide open look because, because of that. And there goes that rebound. Hey, I will say this, though. It was really smart to foul him right there. That was a good foul right there. All right, so don't throw your hands up. That was smart. That was a layup, like in the first half. Okay. Okay, so good stunt there by Grant. Now, Jacob, remember, your job isn't to guard this dribble penetration right here. So when you come out at an angle so you could be in line with the ball. So you're not in line with the ball and it's a straight line. So that three is just too tough for us to get to. Ty kind of changes it a little bit, I think. But we got to make sure that pass isn't on the line when we stun. And that pass is just too quick. All right. Good rebound here on the backside, Grant. Good. We needed that. All right. So this is always a little tough. When this guy drives, you got to drop here, Grant. Now this is a good stunt because you got there and you got in line with the ball. So you see how high that pass is? It's coming from the sky. All right. So now he don't have as much time to get to it, and you get to him, he has to you run him off the line. Now the stunt that hurts you is typically the second one. Boom, you run. You're not in line with the ball, and then your momentum's kind of wrong. So you're trying to get to him, and keep in mind this ain't easy. But too much of your momentum is going forward, and think about where Isaac is. Isaac pretty much has this guy covered. Once you stunt, you don't even have to go that far. So if your peripheral sees Isaac coming, let Isaac cover this, and you just get back to your guy. All right, and so now you're kind of out of whack, and now he's gonna get a wide open shot in that corner. Here's your stunt, Cade. You got a little lucky because as you go, your hips are kind of turned, right? So you got to hurry up and get them around. And now, because your hips are still turned, because you basically have your right hand up, you got to turn your whole body. Now here's the thing, because he threw a straight pass instead of a bounce pass, this is where the ball went to. All right, so you are enough in line to make him throw it out here. But if he throws a bounce pass, it's in his shot pocket. So he doesn't have to give that up. So let's watch it one more time so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, so because your hand is really far out and he threw a chest pass, he has to throw it farther out than he needs to. All right, so you're not quite in line with the ball, but that's more user error on him. He needs to throw a bounce pass even though he threw it with his left hand. All right. All right, so we're a little out of position on this one. So first we make him throw a looper over. So is that Cade? All right, so now we got the guy in the corner. Cade's on the top side. That's where I want y'all on a 1-3-1. Isaac's supposed to trap, and then when we go, Isaac's supposed to trap. Brooklyn's supposed to be on the top of the ball. Jacob May is taking away this pass. So if he's getting trapped and he's in that corner, Kavion, don't worry about this guy as much. Be in the middle because it's not going to be a good pass over this guy to him. So if you're in the middle, you're close enough to stun and do something. But because you're so far down, and I know the wing isn't what you do, you're late. You see how that's not a stunt. He stays in rhythm on his shot because you're not close enough. And I see you trying to get back, but that's too late. If you were able to be a little closer and stunt, look how close Jacob May got to him for the contest. All right, so you need to your positioning right here just needs to be a little bit higher, like around that white line so you could get to that. So boom, you don't really get to him. He's in rhythm. We get lucky. He misses a three. So here, right here, Kavion. And look, here's the thing I like is you're getting some perimeter reps. I know you're used to guarding guards, but this is the way you got to move on the perimeter. So the ball goes there. You stunt, which isn't bad, but you got to jump back and in line, which is tougher than it looks. But that's what you got to do and get your hand there. So this isn't bad. And he just straps a really tough three, and Isaac fouled a jump shooter. All right, so let's watch it again. Stunt. Isaac just got to close out. And usually you do a good job, Isaac, of putting your hand up and putting it down. But right before you touch him, you just didn't do that on this one, and you got to. So next up, I want to talk about skip passes, all right, against our zone. And usually it's the bigs throwing them for the most part, but we got to I got to set some rules. So look, when you throw your skip pass, if it's not going to result in an open shot, or a bad closeout, I don't want you throwing it. All right, it's just dangerous of a pass. So we got to make sure we kind of look before we throw and hold ourselves accountable to good passes. So this one right here, this is a great pass. I think we should get this action more. For 2-3, it's so tough to guard this when you got a flasher diving because this guy has to help. All right, so when you catch it here, do not throw it back to the wing. You could throw it up top and preferably the skip pass. But look, if this happens, Isaac catches, he knows immediately. Pass, because what? That's a trap, right? So pass rules still apply. Wide open shot. That's a good skip, Ty. Brooke, you throw probably out of the bigs the best skip passes, but you got to understand PVAT, positioning, vision, anticipation, decision making. When you turn your back to everybody, you can't throw it to May, you can't hit the dive guy, you can't hit Isaac. The only person you can hit is Ty. All right, so when you catch it on that baseline, which is why I took you off the block, because your habits are always to go away from the defense, right? So now you're here. Now you got to make a miracle pass, all right? And you hit them, and it ends up working out well, but that's not what we want. There's a big difference between the first skip pass that happened that Ty threw and the one that you just threw. So that's an easy fix. Just make sure your butt is facing the baseline and not your chest. All right, and look, I'm not against people run this offense to the block. I just kind of know us, and what I think is, you don't get into people's body, but you have a good shot. So I like you spacing out here instead of the block, because guess what? If you catch it here, you're gonna face up towards the middle of the floor. If you do what you did before, this is after our timeout, right? If you do this before on the block, you're gonna go away from the defense. So now look how you face up. Now you could throw this top pass, Isaac. You could throw it to Ty like you did earlier, but you're also able to face and hit this jumper. All right, so again, we need you running the short corners because that's a better fit for you. Hey, Ty, don't make me hold my breath every single time you throw a skip pass, man. Look, what's wrong? What's wrong with just hitting Isaac? Like, this guy is going to start stealing that pass, and against other teams, this guy absolutely will run through and steal this pass. You got to throw it here. Jacob May's pointing to the top of the key. You're looking for a skip every time. It's okay to just run our offense. So we get that, and that's just too risky for me. Every time you threw it, I was nervous. Right? I kind of like this. This was skip pass opportunity. Isaac does this quite a bit. Sets a back screen, and then we get a skip. Or even though we didn't get a skip, I mean, if Grant had missed a couple, that's probably why I didn't take this. But But that's a wide open shot right there, because of that just simple back screen instead of flashing. And that keeps these guys on their toes. All right. So sometimes you got to hit them just out of random, like Isaac just did. That's big. Then we get it short corner, and this is an opportunity for a possible skip pass, but I get it. This guy's high, so you can't hit middle guy. And you're not confident enough because you probably can't see him to know if you could throw it to Isaac. So I'm okay with you throwing back to the same side if you don't see nothing up there. All right. So, way to hold back on that. All right, here's another must fix, Ty. Just because you see Jacob May over there don't mean you got to throw it. Look at this. Cade's open. Let's just make sure we keep the ball because if he gets this steal, guess what? Who's stopping him down there? That's going to be 1, 2, 3 guys on a break against Cade. You see that? So that had to be a perfect pass right where it's at because if it's any shorter, that's a steal. All right, so we got to get those skips down. Now, hey, when we see this happen, awesome. When we see this skip happen, just run the space, Isaac. Look at this guy sprinting. Look at all this space. Just run right there. All right. Ty, run the space. All right. So, like, I know that's not our offense per se, but well, actually it is. Ty should have, when he threw the skip, should have flashed and he'd be wide open. All right. So we got to do better at that. All right. And Brooks still finds you, and we still get a look because of it. But I want that flash to space because that's what I know is going to be open. Here's another Tyvon sighting. Ty got it. He throws the skip from his chest, but again, Ty, if it doesn't result in an immediate shot or a bad closeout, I don't want it. Just throw it here. All right? So now we're still in nothing, so we took an unnecessary risk just so we get the ball back to where it should have been from you anyway. Same play, let's look at the same two skips. All right, so Brooklyn skips it over the top of his head. And look, if that was Grant's game to drive, he could actually attack the middle, make a second guy guard him, throw it to Isaac. There's a lot of things that we could talk about happening. All right. So there's a big difference. He caught it in his pocket, wasn't dangerous. All right. So now Tyvon catches it. Ty puts it in one hand like a baseball, throws it to me, and Grant catches it. All right. So look. So now he's not a threat. You throw him away from the basket. So now we don't get nothing. Just throw it to Isaac. See if he can reverse it really quickly to Grant. All right, so I'll put this on video because I think this is a quick, easy fix for you. Let's get it. Let's fix it. We're going to get into the 50-50 balls, squeezing rebounds, things, possessions, basically. We need to come up with some of these. All right, so let's do this. First of all, we're in 22. We send him up the sideline like we do. Ty got to be coming up already just a little bit more, all right, because Brooklyn's going down. So right here, Brooke, rebound. You got to find a way to squeeze it. Because you're not going to get judged off the rebounds that's in your area when nobody's there. You're going to get judged on the rebounds you can get when people are in your area. And you got your hands on it, you got to find a way to rip that thing down, be tough, and squeeze it. All right? All right? It's the same thing here. Got to find it, got to squeeze it. And hey, look, body somebody right here, Brooklyn. You see this guy? That's your only competitor for the rebound. Hit him one time, and it's a rebound by yourself if he misses. You just trying to out jump. So now you get your hand on it, and it just kind of juggles out. Another rebound you got to find a way to come up with. And we talked about this, Isaac. We got to be able to attack this space. And when we do, we're going to do 2 videos on this. You got to be able to attack him, make him guard, and then K to be more open and not only just swing. All right, but right here, this is the 50-50. And not on the jump. It's doing your work early. So, Brooke, you got to get into his body now. You're inside of him. He should get pushed up to at least this hash so you get every rebound here. All right, he's trying to block you in, and you don't hit him early enough. So now it's just a scramble for the rebound because you didn't do your work early and get him out of there. Get him out of there. Bump him. All right, so you could get that rebound. You got to come up with those. Because this is about timing. And I know Ty worked on it. So look, here's Ty right here. The ball bounces. I thought it was coming out first. It hits the rim, so he's about to jump. He's about to jump again. Then he finally jumps at the right time and times the jump. All right, for whatever reason, they call a foul on Kavion. But let's just watch Ty's body when the shot goes up. All right, so just time it. Don't just jump. Time, not there, not there. Boom. Then we jump when it's coming off the rim. That's us getting much better at reading. Hey, I can't press upon y'all enough how important it is to learn that, but that's important because those are going to equate to possessions, obviously. This is good growth. These are 50-50 balls I'm talking about that we're now coming up with. Boop, it goes around. Kavion comes up with it. 50-50. Another shot at the rim. It's on there. It gets on the ground. Guess what we do? We get on the ground. All right. That's a winning team right there, guys. We got to make sure that's who we are always. This isn't necessarily a 50-50. This is going to show up in our second video of like more of a breakdown. Right now I'm hitting areas so y'all can see them back to back to back and see the differences. But right here, May does make this guy commit, and he doesn't turn his shoulders to throw the pass. Isaac, you probably, if anything, should have shot that. If you don't shoot it, pull it out because there's less than a minute left. Now here's the terrible pass Isaac makes. Boom, it hits the ground. So this is a 50-50 ball you got to get to, Brooklyn, and it's y'all too, right? Y'all are evenly there. So, I know you can't say I can always get to it or not, but you got to find a way to come up with those. All right, because those are 50-50s, and if you start coming up with those, it's going to change the box scores that y'all see earlier, especially the possession stats, and that's where the game is won or lost. Let's talk about our offensive rebounding. All right, they had a ton. I'm gonna probably put like one or two of theirs on there, but obviously we know they had 16, and that's where they got a lot of their shots. But that'll show up in another video. So here, way to flash. All right, you got to find a way to throw that on a better line, Jacob. All right, good drive to make a second guy guard you. Isaac, you have to make that happen more often. I think this is probably one of two times you did it all game and you had more opportunities. So now Grant's wide open. But look at Kavion. Let's back it up. So Kavion catches it middle. Shot goes up, immediately blocking a guy in. So guess what? He can't jump any longer. And Kavion don't have to jump high either because he's just muscling people out the way. Here goes another one, spin. Kavion blocks him in. Another rebound. Sets the tone right from the tip just about that, hey, it's going to be a long night. Let's keep this rolling. So then Kavion runs tower. Ty misses it. But guess who's on the floor trying to get a third possession for us? Unfortunately, we get a foul call. All right, so Ty, make that layup so we don't get a foul on Kavion. Let's talk about being physical and the type of team, not that we want to be, but what we have to be. All right, so let's watch Isaac right here. The ball goes up. He sprints immediately on offense to block a guy out. So now this guy can't move. Guess who gets a clean rebound because of Isaac? All right, everybody notices Ty, but Isaac's the one who created the clean rebound for him. All right, so now let's watch this again. Isaac's out of bounds. Shot goes up. Immediately he's in his body, pushing a guy out. All right, now, long rebound. Can't do anything about that. All right, but look at this transition. We'll keep this going even though it's in the next video. That's the trying to transition energy I need. So let's watch this again. Rebound happens. We got 4 guys at the block or below. All right, we got K back there checking break by himself against multiple guys. Look at this effort. Ty sprint, everybody sprint. Isaac jumped in there. Hey man, that's how you win games right there. All right, now we're gonna close out. Now they got to set up against us and they're struggling. Hey, this video is going back on the main one too. Here's another. The rebound goes up. It's all about who can read. Who can read the rebound off of the rim? All right, so now, but even though Isaac's not big, he read it first. So now he's there. Obviously, if he's taller, he's a foot higher and gets his own rebound. But because we keep it alive, Brooklyn comes up with it. I should put that on your 50-50, Brooklyn. Way to come up with that. All right, and then we'll just kind of fast forward to this. Brooklyn, when you're here, you can't run past the ball. Like, once you realize you can't steal it, you got to wall up because you ran past the ball and now he's scoring past you and getting a layup. If you wall up and make him score over you, you got to say, hey, I can't get to that ball, score over the top of me. All right, so you got a bad habit, and Ethan on sophomore team has a bad habit of running past the ball. So make sure you don't do that. It's because as they started bringing their zone higher, we learned that we could just kind of flash to open space and still get back and run our play if we need to. So you run to the middle and make them be honest. If you're a stronger passer, Kavion, you'd throw that bounce pass over the top. Ty's knees would be bent, ready to dive and get a layup and throw it below you. But look, nothing's there. Hey, that's valuable to me. You didn't used to have that poise and patience. So now they're so spread out because they're trying to get the wings. Now who's open? Ty. But this is the game changer right here. Boom. Rebound, get a foul. If they're gonna spread themselves out, they got 2 guys who can't rebound here. They're too spread thin, so now we just gonna kill them inside. There's no need to shoot threes anymore. And y'all are learning how to adapt your game and force people to play the style you want to play. That's great. And not to mention how crucial this possession is. If you look at the score, it's 36-30 at this point. So we needed that rebound to kind of put your foot on their throats and kind of kill this game. There's another offensive rebound. We did not do a good job of running the play. Grant will always go first. Ty would go second. They bump into each other somewhere. They blocked out so good, I don't know. But y'all never got there. All right, so you got to sprint inside of him, Grant, and then Ty would have had this rebound. But nonetheless, Grant finds a way. All right, Grant will find a way to get a rebound here and there, and that's big. And this is why, because we come out the half, and then we strap a three early. The extra possessions matter, and the best time to shoot a three is when? After offensive rebound. And there we have it. You one possession of their offensive rebound and why, even though they had 16 offensive rebounds, they still shot the percentage they shot, because it's not normal for people to get that many offensive boards and shoot for a good team anyway. So I consider this a pretty good team. So look, so here's the first thing. All right, so we're in 1-3-1. After they get their offensive rebound, we wall up quickly. So he gets a tap, boom. Everybody's sprinting out, make him do another play. Make one more play. Make one more play. Get out there. Good. Good. Now he gets to the middle and he shoots a contested, really tough two. That is not going to beat us, guys. All right, so everything needs to be tough. So a lot of times, that's why I'm clapping for this possession, because if you're going to make them throw 6 and 7 passes in order to get that shot off the dribble too, I'm going to live with that all day. All right. So let's move on to three-pointers and the made threes that they had. They only hit 6 of 29. I thought y'all could have held them to 2 of 29 at least. All right, so let's talk about it. All right, so here we go. We get a trap. We got to stay on that, ready for that tap behind Cade. We don't get it. We get a foul. All right, so now Cade, think about it. 1, 2, 3, 4 guys. Why stand in the middle? There's no threat there. The only threat is on the other side of the court. And they throw it to him, and you're late. That's their first three of the game. They're 1 for 5 at this point. All right, so that's 1 3 that could have been avoided. We just fell asleep. All right, so here's another one. They take a three, and I'm fine with this three. But Brooklyn don't time his jump. The ball's still bouncing, and you're already going to be in the air too early, and he jumps at the right moment. So we give up an offensive rebound. All right, so they got the possession back. And here's the worst thing is they didn't call this, neither one. That's a hook everywhere. All right, and because of that hook, Brooklyn has to help. They throw it there. We still get a good contest, and they just hit another three. All right, so if we take care of business on our offensive rebounding or defensive rebounding, they don't get that shot anyway. All right, this was a three I was okay with. All right, so we go. Kind of fumble a little bit. This guy catches the ball, and they had like 3 guys that could throw passes like this. And he slings it to the other side of the court for a three. Hey guys, that's an impressive pass. It hits him right in his shot pocket just about. We just got to live. All right, and they hit that late in the half to go up 20-18. So that was really big for them. All right, so here's another. They get to the paint, throw it. Because he drove, that makes it a lot tougher for Grant. Nonetheless, got to work on that closeout because now it goes to him and it hits him in a pretty good shot pocket to get that shot off. All right, so that's another one we could have probably took away. Again, this is another one I think we could have took away if we guarded a little bit better. It's 2-on-1. You got to guard him perfect. But remember, I want us to take more of this guy away and make him ball fake or dribble and then shoot, and then I'll accept the three. All right, and then we double down on it and foul a guy. Here's our final play right here. This is one of our many, many missed free throws. All right, so they end up getting the rebound. But look at our hustle. They're on a break for the most part. We get back and we say, hey man, y'all ain't scored against our defense all game. Let's hurry up and get back so they have to score against it. So now the ball's got to start moving. That's a pretty good stunt right there. Good. We're moving. There's the tip pass. I think normally Isaac steals that, but since he doesn't, now we're out of position. Boom. And that's a tough three. I'm not going to lie. That's a tough three. All right. So again, I think 4 of those threes could have been negated, and they could have went 2 for 29 very easily. All right. So This film has already gone 30 minutes. The other one where I got more of the plays and the typical breakdown that we have is coming. Hopefully, I won't be accompanied by Awesome, and then we'll see. Hey, but good stuff right here. Learn how to execute those small things, the skip passes, the corner stunts, get the 50-50 balls, how to take away more threes, and of course, how can we get more offensive rebounds and possessions for ourselves.